It has been a long time since I have put a pop-up book on YouTube or on Facebook, but I've been working on some pop-up books, and it's called Mr. Malcome McMartin Mouse 2020, and I've done 5 of these books, and they are for my daughter and for my brother's grandchildren, and it's about a mouse. It says, "My name is McMartin, but you may call me Mac. I am going to tell you about my life in 2020. In February, I put on my red sweater to head over to the storage house to collect seeds, peanuts, and cat food for my family. Because my arms were full of food, I lost my balance and fell into a box of Valentine craft stuff. I got stuck in the ribbons and Valentine hearts. Try as hard as I might, I could not get unstuck. I was doomed. The next day, the lady came and got the box to carry into the house where the cats lived. The box was dropped on its side, and out I was able to run. And when you open this one, it has a picture of the McMartin family. And here is Malcolm standing up tall. And when you pull this, he runs out of the box. I caught the eyes of the 3 cats. They saw me as a toy, not food. The big gray cat named Millie, called Big Girl, looked bored with me and soon went off to sleep in the sun. Little Man and Sylvie could not wait to play with their new toy, me. Long-legged little man chased me under the chairs and over the tables. Sylvie, called Little Girl, chased me down the hall and into the craft room full of stuff. When you pull up this tab, it says Muffin's Craft Room, and you can pull it up, and it has all kinds of things. And the craft room is full of all kinds of things. Oh dear, my heart beat so fast after all the running. I had to find a safe place to get away from the cats. In the kitchen, I had seen a wonderful old birdhouse made of barnwood. It had a small opening just right for me to climb through. The kitchen was a great place to live. I found water and lots of food. My favorite new food was coffee ice cream by Bluebell. Yum! And you can unlock this little lock, and you can open it up, and there's a thing all about making crafts for his own little house out of stuff he found in the craft room. Every day passed much like the day before. We ate, watched TV, we watched birds, we napped, played with the cats, crafted, and did it all again the next day. I liked the TV show about animals. I loved the elephants. I hated the news. And this is a wheel so that when you turn it, it shows all the different kinds of programs. Mud larking, DIY crafts, The Crown. There's just all sorts of things. As the months went by, the lady left me a pale blue hammock that I pulled inside the birdhouse and hung. Great sleep. When you open this, you can see that he has hung a mask, a COVID mask, and he's made it into a hammock. When May got here, the lady made a birthday cake for her daughter. She took a picture of the cake and put it on Facebook. Cats don't eat cake, so I was really excited that I would get lots of cake. Then I discovered the cake was a DIY styrofoam, chalk, and painted cake. Lots of fiber, but bad, bad taste. June came and COVID-19 was still not good. My children continued to visit through the kitchen window. They found it hard to believe the cats and I were now friends. They told me they were being homeschooled by their mom. Laughing, they said that they were at PE and they needed to go. Ring, ring, ring. In July, I heard the lady talking. Family trips were called off. No hiking out west, nor beach sitting to the east. The lady was sad, but stayed busy crafting. She made black cat firecrackers to line the front sidewalk. The lady got really excited when she learned a Dollar Tree was moving into an empty building up the street. And here is the black cat firecrackers. The lady wrote in a book every day. I wrote this for my house. 2020. I ran an errand in my old coat of red. Little did I know where I would lay my head. Inside the big house, I did then end. In 2020, I would now there spend. The 3 cats had their own food. This put me in a happier mood. We spent our days playing a while, then all curled up to nap in a pile. I learned to craft and watch TV, but home with my family I wish to be. Half the year gone, COVID's still here. What would come by the end of the year? These pages are pages that look like the kind of pages that I actually was doing as I wrote in a daily diary, and I kept up with how many people had died and how many people were in the hospital and what was going on politically, and we won't read all of that. In August, 2 visitors came. One was a fat possum in the trash can. Let's see if I can get him back down in there. Well, I may have to work on this one. Let's see if I take off the edge. When you're doing pop-up books, you have to read through them several times to make sure that all the parts work. Also, you will discover that you make all kinds of mistakes in your writing, but that's okay. They'll still be cherished. So now that should go down. At least I hope it will go down. Let's trim it off a little bit more. Well, I will work on that later on so that that will work. Not sure why that's not wanting to. The other lady, Lady D, came to live in the big house. She made friends with the cats, but I never showed myself to her. COVID update. And if you undo this, it tells you about some of the statistics. My children visited little because of a hawk that had moved into the area. The lady watched TV, shows they had already seen. The mudlarkers were in lockdown in England, and the crafters were staying at home here in the U.S. As more events closed or never opened, we were missing the Alabama State Fair. Little man and I decided to make our own fair ride. I rode inside a white skate pushed around by little man. We only did this at night when everyone was asleep. October. As the weather cooled, everyone stayed inside more. The lady of the big house had so much fun DIYing. She made Halloween things to give to family and friends. I found an old orange sock that I made into a pumpkin. Using small black pieces of paper, I made myself into a jack-o'-lantern. I also took black paint and painted the 3 cats black. This scared the ladies because they could not figure out how this had happened. Thank goodness I used paint that could be washed off. Traveling in the U.S. has problems. Some states require quarantines and more information. The ladies ran errands to Walmart, Dollar Tree, the drugstore, and a few more places. They still wore those hammocks on their faces, even though they looked funny. They did decide not to do a family Thanksgiving. They would miss their families just like I was missing mine. The cats were my family at this time. No place like home. And when you open this one, there's a house and there's a family that stands up out in front of the house. And of course, lots of us missed our Thanksgivings in 2020. DIY crazy. So many projects, Christmas gifts and Christmas decor. The lady of the big house decorated inside and outside. I could not understand all the decorating since no one was coming to visit. I did decide to decorate inside my birdhouse. I hope my family will see it one day. COVID-19 is still here. And this is what happens when you open up this. It's presents and a Christmas tree. I don't know if you can see it very well. 2020 is coming to an end. I hope we will all have a better 2021. If you're doing a pop-up book and you have these fold-outs, you really should secure them somehow. Then the last page says, list 10 things you remember. And there's a place where each of the kids can write things they remember about 2020. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did enjoy making them. Thank you.